Hi, everyone. So this week's portion is the portion of Vayishlach, and it's actually a very interesting portion. So in this portion, Jacob finally leaves the house of his father-in-law Lavan, and he takes his family with him, and he's going back to Israel. And the first thing he does when he leaves is he sends a message to his brother Esav, who had vowed to kill him previously. And he sends the message, I have oxen and donkeys, sheep, servants, and maidservants. And this message seems to suggest that Jacob, a wealthy man, intends to pay a lot of money for Esav to not be mad at him. It's sort of like a bribe, it looks like. But the explanations say that the oxen were code for the priests who led the Israelites to war, and the donkeys were code for the Messiah. And so, if that's true, what's the real meaning of this message? What was Jacob really trying to tell Esav? And there's a commentator called the Megale Amukot, which means revealer of depths. And he says that Esav married into his uncle Ishmael's family in order to get back at Jacob for walking away with the birthright. By marrying a daughter of Ishmael, he would be able to attack Jacob from two different angles. And this is what the commentator says. He says from one side, he would attack him with his own negative influence, known as the ox. And from the other side, he would attack him with the negative influence of his uncle Ishmael, known as the donkey. So what exactly happened? After leaving Laban's house, Jacob wrestled with an angel, and it turns out that this was the guardian angel of his brother Esav. Now, one opinion is that the angel appeared to Jacob as an idol worshiper, and another opinion says that the angel appeared as a scholar, someone who studies the spiritual wisdom. And Shem Shmuel, who's the commentator that I usually use in these lectures, explains that these are two different kinds of evil inclinations. The idol worshiper represents the power of the evil inclination to draw us into lustful thoughts and actions because of the physical pleasures that we have around. And the scholar represents the power of the evil inclination to seduce us with arguments which appear to be correct on the surface, but which really are suspicious. What does that mean? So, in doing so, the evil inclination of the scholar is to tell us that, you're not behaving so bad, or this is even a good thing that you're doing, while it's in reality something that we shouldn't be doing. So these are the two sides that the Megale Mukot was referring to when he said that Esav wanted to attack Jacob from two angles. The idol worshiper wants to attack the person's heart by getting him addicted to different kinds of lusts around him, if it's food or sex or alcohol. And he's like a donkey who's always laboring under a load because of his addiction. And the Talmudic scholar, the scholar who studies wisdom, attacks the person's head, convincing him that good is bad and vice versa, like an ox who doesn't know who his owner is. So Esav wanted to attack Jacob in both ways, through the heart and through the mind, but he wasn't successful, obviously. Shem Shmuel says that the Israelites will ultimately be saved from the evil inclination by the Messiah. And so together, both Messiahs, Messiah ben David, Mashiach ben David, and Mashiach ben Yosef, which is the heart and the mind, will help us overcome both of the evil inclinations. And this is what Jacob really wanted to hint to Esav. When he told him, I have an oxen who goes out to war, and I have donkeys, meaning I have both of the Messiahs. I am going to take care of everything. I'm going to take care of the heart, and I'm going to take care of the mind. So the truth is that with this time, in this era, the battle of the heart will already be won. But what we need to do is we need to work on the battle of the mind. People are getting, especially now in COVID, people are funnily getting closer to each other. There's more compassion. But the war is up here, especially everyone who's out there alone and having to be quarantined alone. The war is up here. But what is Jacob telling Esau? There's no point in you attacking me, because even if you come from both angles, I'm prepared. I'm going to overcome the evil inclination of the heart and the mind. And I think that for us this week, it's such an important lesson of understanding that there's two aspects, the heart and the mind. We have to we should work on being more compassionate, being more loving. Sometimes we're compassionate with people who are outside our family, and we find ourselves not being compassionate with our own family members. Sometimes it's easier for us to be nicer and kinder to people outside of our circle than it is to be nice, especially with the people we've been stuck in COVID with for 9 months. So it's a wake-up call. And then our mind. Our mind, as you know, can play tricks on us. We can think that we can come up with a million excuses why everything is okay that we do, where inside we really know that it's not okay. So let's be true to ourselves. Let's look inward. Let's fight our angels inside, and let's be able to put our heart and our mind at the same level. So Jacob, like all of his forefathers, was very conscious of his actions. And of course, everything he did would influence everyone, his descendants, for all generations. And every move of his and every word would be looked at closely by future generations. I mean, even today we're looking at everything that he said. So when the Bible says in the beginning of the portion that Jacob sent messengers to figure out how to deal with Esau, we have to understand what we're supposed to learn from that. There's a difference of opinion as to whom exactly Jacob sent to Esau. And the commentaries say, one says that Jacob sent human messengers, and the other commentary says that he sent angels. So Rashi, who is a famous commentator, chooses the second opinion of he sent real angels. And the word for real is mamash. And that also connotates that there's substance or a body. So it says that Jacob sent the substance of the angels to Esau while keeping the angels themselves with him. Meaning that Jacob sent their bodies, the bodies of the angels, to Esau to report on their motives, while their souls of the angels remained with Jacob. And these were Jacob's angels. They were loyal to him and to his agenda. And it was only their bodies, this is very funny actually, that Jacob sent to spy on Esau's intents and what he was going to do, while he kept their souls with him. Now, even though angels are spiritual creatures, they possess like a refined spiritual body with a soul that is kind of nullified and basically does whatever the Creator tells them to do. Jacob was on such a high level that he could direct these spiritual creatures to do whatever he wanted them to do. The human soul is not a creation in the same sense as the rest of the creations, including the angels, because the human soul comes from a much higher level than the angels. That's why it's capable of being in a physical body. The angels weren't in a physical body. So what does all of this mean for us? And according to one of the commentators, we have to use our sixth sense to test the waters of the physical world. We have to send angels to determine what kind of involvement with the physical world would help us to elevate or to go further down. Meaning, we need to use our angels. We need to use our sixth sense in every situation to see if what I'm getting into is going to make it better for me and for the world, or is it just going to have kind of like a negative agenda that might be good for me, but it might hurt other people. So we can send our angels to every situation and think, okay, what am I feeling? And usually all of our six senses are correct. But sometimes we're uncomfortable. We don't want to confront. We don't want to agree. It could be easier not to agree with our sixth sense. And in the end, we pay the price for it. So the core is to strive to get close to the Creator. And like Jacob, we have to send the body to work with the physical while making sure that our soul remains connected to the Creator. And so, like Jacob, we need to figure out for ourselves, what are we capable of? What's the best for us? What's the best for everyone around us? And that sixth sense that the angel that Jacob sent to inform Esav is the same sense that has to let us know if we can take on a particular task, if we can go forward with a particular challenge. And if we're able then to have that sense help us, it's like the angel of Jacob, whose real enthusiasm, whose job was to make sure that Jacob stayed connected to the Creator. And we all have those angels. Because if not, if the task or whatever we're supposed to do is going to disconnect us from the Creator, it's going to bring us down low. And again, we need to remember, human beings are on a higher level than angels. Angels have one will, the will of the Creator. They have one job, to do whatever the Creator tells them, and usually they don't have more than one job. So there's an angel for healing, an angel for everything. We as human beings are on a higher level. We have our minds, we have our hearts, we have free will to some extent. So all we should do is use those angels to help guide us to stay connected to the Creator. So that's what Jacob wanted to signify to all of us by sending angels to his brother Esav. If it's not going to affect you and you're capable of elevating the situation, get involved. If the struggle with the world and trying to raise it up is going to affect you in a negative way, don't go there right now. Don't make anything pull you down. It's not for you. There may be somebody else that's created for it. So here we have, Eliyahu spoke, I think either you'll hear it today or tomorrow, depending when my video is, Spiritual Fridays, about what angels are and how to connect to them. You can use that together with this to understand that we have angels. We have our sixth sense. Let's use them. Let's make sure that everything we do, we can stay connected to the Creator and elevate everybody around a little bit more every day. Thank you.